Hey guys, David Stewart here. Today I am going to be talking about the Soleares, and I'm going to be talking about one aspect of it in particular, which is the phrase ending. It sounds a bit like that. This is something that you'll hear at the end of longer sections of music, whether they are compás or they're falsetta, to tell the group, to tell the dancers, or to just tell the listener that you've ended that section and you're going to begin the next one. At the end of a compás section, it's usually going to be after this C major figure. At the end of falsetta, it'll just be at the end of anything, and it'll take up the last measure of your falsetta. Okay, so let's look at that with a little more depth. We want to develop some different variations for that. If you are a beginning flamenco player, you're going to want to start with the basic one and develop lots of different variations. Whether you're accompanying dancers or you're playing as a soloist, this will help you to break down the music into manageable phrases and help the listener to keep track of what you're doing and which section is which. And it's just something that is a part of Soleares. You ought to know how to do it. Almost always we're going to play this end section on an E major chord. So just to review, this is an E major chord, open on the 6th string, 5th, 4th, 3rd. So open, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, open, open. So it's open on the 6th, 2nd fret on the 5th, 2nd fret on the 4th, 1st fret on the 3rd, open on the 2nd, open on the 1st string. And you can do some different chord variations you can experiment with. The ones that I typically see are this, an E7, an E flat 9. So this E major, you bring your 3rd finger up a fret, you get E flat 9, and then you can add your pinky to make an E7 flat 9. Very, very cool sounding chord. It's actually the you'll see that chord in the Villalobos Etude 1. So let's take a look at the right hand, because most of the variations are going to occur in the right hand. Drop the old camera down here to get the down and dirty on the right hand. There we go. Sorry for the shaking. But now we can see the right hand a little bit better, which is good. You can still see the left hand too. All right. So here's the basic one. You're holding an E major with your left hand. You're going to play 6th string, 1st string, 4th, 3rd, 2nd with your thumb. And we usually do this with our thumb. And you can use your index finger here for the 1st string, 6-1. You can use your middle finger or your ring finger. I think I usually use my middle finger. Then you're going to play 4-3-2 with your thumb. And typically we do that with the thumb because it has a little bit stronger sound than playing it as. That's a little too pleasant for flamenco. We like a little more clicky, a little more aggressive sound. So that's your basic way of playing that. You should practice that. Our first and most basic variation that we should learn to do adds some eighth notes at the end. 1 and 2 and 3 is how you usually count it. What we're going to add to the end is we're going to add a downstroke that goes through both the 1st and 2nd string, and an upstroke that connects with them as well. So it looks like this: 6, 1, 4, 3, 2 and 1 at the same time, 2 and 1 at the same time with the flick up of the thumb. And we count that: 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. I'll give you a little bit different angle. That's your first basic variation. The next variation that you should probably think about practicing has an arpeggio in it. That's a really basic variation, and I'll show you the arpeggio I'm doing. P on the 6th string, A on the 1st, M on the 2nd, I on the 3rd string. P, A, M, I. Then we do our regular thumb. And you can do that without the upstroke. You can just do that if you wanted to. We get that 1 E and 2 and 3 and. Now we could do a little bit of a variation of that by playing that A, M, I just on the 1st string to make a tremolo. And we can even do it P, I, A, M, I to get that flamenco sound. So there's another variation. Here's yet another one we can do with an arpeggio feel, which is to add 16th notes all the way through the figure. 1 E and A, just like we were doing before, and then we're going to add some other stuff. We're going to go P, A, M, I, P on the 5th string, M on the 2nd, then 16th notes in the thumb. So it's going to feel like this: 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 and 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 and. Very, very cool arpeggio that you can do there. You can fill up as much space as you want. You can even do P, I, A, M, I. You can do a 6-steplet. With an arpeggio. Very, very cool one. You want to fill up some space, okay? You can even do a raschiato. This isn't super typical, but you can totally do it. Whatever raschiato you want, you can do. You can do. But you have to be quick about it. You can even do a triplet. Whatever you want there. So, and with the left hand, I'm doing that diminished chord there. Sorry for knocking the mic. Okay. So there's a couple of different variations that you can do with this. It all is intended to sound like the same thing. If you make it too unrecognizable, then if you're working with dancers or a singer or something, then they're going to have a really hard time following you and knowing exactly what you were trying to do. There it goes. All right. So hopefully that's been informative. You should practice that phrase ending, and whether you are working with somebody else's falsettos or you're attempting to design your own when you are putting together your Soleares, please try to come up with some good variations of that phrase ending. That'll keep things interesting. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Please let me know in the comments what you want to see and what you want to hear. I really, really appreciate the feedback, even the people who hate me. And that always is fun when somebody doesn't like me or has a criticism rather than just an encouragement. So feel free to tell me whatever you like. You can visit my websites, dvspress.com, davidvstewart.com. You can find me on Twitter as @davidvstewart and facebook.com/David Van Dyke Stewart. And I hope you have a great day and that's been informative. And please let me know what you want to see in the future. Thanks.